fall after the reorganization.
L was like,
Oh, okay.
So he's gonna drop out anyways.
Oh, he's not in the district anymore?
He's in the process of moving, and when he does, he's going to, drop out.
Oh. Yeah, so, and my wife wears her sunglasses indoors. My wife wears her sunglasses indoors all the time.
She was today.
Funny. They're like, you were.
Guess that.
good evening, everyone.
That did try-
Welcome to tonight's Board of Education meeting. If you'd stand and join me for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the
Flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands.
God, indivisible.
Forget it. I'm not-
I'd like to have a moment of silence for the following individuals. Philip Kraus, a graduate of the district. Madeline A. Modafferi, a former employee of the district. Douglas Tilliston, a graduate of the district. Patricia Kalpeter, a graduate and former employee of the district. Ronald Rock, a retiree of the district. And Todd Redfield, a graduate of the district. Thank you.
Um, Passed away. I met him early in my, wrestling program at North Syracuse. And Matt even was in Pee Wee wrestling. Coach, so he loved this district. It's back when we had driver ed, so he taught driver ed and physical education. Started at North Syracuse, right next door, and then went to CNS. One of the winningest coaches in the state of New York, in the top 10. So it's sad to lose somebody that did so much. And he also was president of the New York State Retired Teachers Association. So he even got involved with retirees. So it's a loss for our community. Thank you.
Good evening, members of the board and our friends in the back here. Thanks for having us. My name is Chow Lee. I'm the director of the Rising Rockstars program, and I'm joined here by my colleagues Tim Carter, who's the site coordinator at the middle school, and Jen McCann, who is our new site coordinator at the elementary school. So we have a few slides to update you on what's been going on. Okay. It's a slide thing. Oh, all righty. So we were fortunate enough in July 2022 to get the 21st Century Grant. It's a very competitive grant. It's the only federal funding source for out-of-school time and summer programming in the US. And so in New York State, we're about one of 150 programs that got this grant. And so our mission is to provide, high quality recreational and educational activities for our students after school and before school and over the summer. And what we're hoping that the kids will come away with is like a really strong sense of themselves, having confidence, being connected to community. And also we want them to build on their social, emotional, and academic skills. And we are very fortunate to have partners to do this great work with us. Our main partner is the YMCA of Central New York, the Arts and Education branch. And my colleagues, Jen and Tim, are from the Y. And the majority, about 60% of our instructors are also from the Y. We also have a partnership with Contact Community Services, which provides a full-time employee to work at the elementary school to do tutoring and behavioral supports during the school day. And we have Liberty Resources, who provides therapists for us after school. And also we partner with LPB Consulting, who's our independent evaluator for the program. Next slide, please. All right, so this is a slide of the registrations that we've received over the last 3 years. We just finished our 3rd year. So, our very first year, people didn't know about us. And so we only had, about 274 students that signed up. And then the following year, we had 250 over the summer, which was really great, and then 486. And then this past school year, 221 kids signed up for summer 2024. And during the school year, we had, 414. And this summer, we had a record year of 250 kids that signed up for the summer. We didn't have any competition because there was no summer learning. So we were the only place that North Syracuse offered, other than like BOCES special and summer school. And right now we have, I put together these slides last week, but we have 194 registrations and spaces filling up. So I just had to send an email out to parents in Parent Square. So for the morning program, we only have 2 spots left. And then after school, at the middle school, there's no spots left. And we have a handful of spots at the elementary school for after school. So, we're a known quantity, the Roxborough community. So that's really great. Next slide. Slide. Yep, there we go. So this is a pay for performance grant. So the state only gives us money if students get 15 hours or more in the program. And so we have to, our overall target was originally 567 students. We realized after the first 2 years that was not realistic at all, just given like the market and what the students want. So we asked for a reduction. So our goal is 454 students now at both sites. And we get our full funding amount if we get 95% of that target. And so we were pleased that this past school year we hit it at 430 students who had 15 hours or more. And definitely we have a good number of students that have 30+ hours in the program. So this slide is some academic data that we collect on students that have 30 or plus hours in the program. And so we've seen in, the first year, we have 29 students in Rising Rock Stars show improvement in their Ames Web ELA and math scores from, one season to the next. In year 2, we had 42%. So that's about 48 students who participated in the program improved. And year 3, we had 36%. Obviously, the school day teachers had a lot to do with this, but we like to report on it as well. And math, we've also seen an improvement. So the state also collects data on GPA of the 7th graders. And so from the previous school year, so we had 54 students, or 65% of the students that participated in the program who got a GPA below 3.0. They showed improvement the next school year. And likewise, from the previous year, 54 students improved in their grades. So, we like to think that, they come to after school, it's just another positive experience that they have with school. And then, Tim here and the other teachers really follow up with the kids if they're missing homework because they have time to do homework. And also the counselors follow up. And then we also have our school day teachers drop off homework for Tim to give to the kids to do if somehow they miss the opportunity to do their schoolwork. So now I'm going to turn it over, click the next slide, please, to Jen, who will talk about kind of our programming at the elementary school.
Hi. So my name's Jennifer McCann, and Today is my first day in this role. And here I am presenting. But so today's my first day as the new site coordinator. But I was part of the program this past school season, just as an assistant. So I am familiar with what, what the program does. And some of the activities that we have throughout the school year, we have arts and crafts, physical education games, cooking. We have recorder with the talented Donna Marie Norton. The kids love that. We have in the winter break, so in February, we have a vacation art and basketball camp and, and lots of other things, depending on the teacher and the students and what they're interested in. We also coordinated several field trips, including visiting the Springside Farm, going to the Most, going to Hospital Land, and then over the summer, there was a field trip to the Cicero Splash Pad. We had guest speakers come in to speak to the students, including Dr. Is it Avi? Avi, sorry, Dr. Avi George, as well as Helping Hounds came in, and we did like a little campaign where we donated food and pet supplies and whatnot to Helping Hounds. And then we have family engagement activities, including student showcases. We have those twice a year, so one in December and the second one in the spring. Family cooking class, that was really popular this past school season, and a workshop on building resiliency for back-to-school success. So overall, we're going to be doing some of, these activities and more. We've been talking about that today, so I'm giving some ideas. And overall, I just really look forward to working with the staff and the students this next school year in my new role. So thank you.
All right, now, Tim.
Hi, folks. Each year, the middle school program, really both programs change quite a lot. We reassess at the end of each year, like what do we want to try to do, and kind of adding on a few more things into our program based on stuff that's working. So I want to talk about the kind of upcoming stuff that we do. A lot of it's like stuff we wanted to do in our first year. And then we're like, let's focus on actually retaining some staff before we can get to these like bigger ideas. But we're sort of there now, and the school knows the program, the students know it. So we're able to do, we've got some great ideas coming up this year. These activities that we do at the middle school, stuff like cooking, sports, jewelry making, STEM, those come a little bit from us, like thinking of what we want to do with our art instructors, but a lot of it comes from the students too. And we've kind of tried a few different things and ended on these activities as being kind of really the most popular stuff. Cooking, obviously, they're middle schoolers, they want to eat all the time. So cooking will never go away. Same with sports and same with art, but we're able to bring in all different kinds of art instructors through the Y. We had jewelry making last year, which was a big success. We've had sculpture, wire sculpture, clay sculpture, really great stuff like that. As well as the February vacation art and basketball camp, which is not at the same time. They're two separate camps, and the art kids make a mess and make a lot of cool stuff, and then the basketball kids just go at it all week long. We've had some great field trips. Our field trip to the SU was partially going to Newhouse. One of our instructors was going to get her degree there the following year, so she arranged us to give like a little tour of their studios. I have some friends who are in the kind of game research lab, so they also got to check out all the VR equipment there at SU, and in the bird library, which was great. We've also gone to the Most. I think this year I'm excited to go to the Everson museum, which is one we haven't gotten to yet. We also had some great guest speakers from NSCSD. I think Vincent Love came to talk about being a treasurer, which went over really, really well. Like kids were fascinated by it, which yeah, I mean, he's like a wonderful person, but also he was just talking about budgets, and I was not expecting it to go over as well as it did. Students are really into that. And some other, things that we're looking to do this year and kind of growing our program are doing more things with families, more inviting families in. My favorite event of the year is the family game night, which partners with some of the parents who work with a group called Retro Game Con. If you were here last time we did this, they come in and they bring vintage video games for kids to play. We bring in board games and we have pizza, and it's a wonderful time. So we've done that the last couple of years. We're going to try to do it again this year. We've also done some family cooking classes, but this year we're really looking to see if families in our programs want to help volunteer or help kind of come as guest speakers themselves to the program, talk with middle school students about what they do in their work or kind of how to be an adult, and just kind of talk about things that they're interested in, be a part of the program that way. We also have been partnering with Interfaith Works to teach our instructors at the middle school how to have difficult conversations, how to be models for that with students, and how to kind of facilitate conversations and curiosity with the students. And so we're forming a dialogue club this year and giving a chance for kids to identify things that they want to really wrestle with or talk about, and then having a couple instructors be with them and help facilitate conversations. And, it may be stuff based in the school, it may be stuff based in their lives outside of school. So we did some trainings with Interfaith Works over the summer, and we're hoping to really try it out this school year.
I also want to say that this last spring, the state evaluator, so New York State's evaluator of all the 21st century programs, so 150 of them, the evaluator came to do a site visit at the middle school because we're considered a model program of all the 21st century programs in the state. So shout out to Tim for his great leadership in running the program. And also in our second year, we had Binghamton University come and do an evaluation of all first-time grantees. So that was us. And there's like a whole long checklist of all the things that you have to meet to hit the requirements. And we were 100% compliant. And so, we're, the state knows that we're really well-run and good program. So thanks to, North Syracuse and all the wonderful staff who, chip in a lot. Resources and time-wise and thought partners to help us make this program run really well. So the last slide. So here are some really great quotes that I asked parents to send me. So this June and July, we were a little worried, very worried that we might not have the 21st century grant anymore. And a lot of parents were freaking out. And I'll just say that I did some research on how much it would cost families to send their kids to before and after school in the summer. And so if you're the North Area YMCA here in Liverpool, that's the closest Y to us. So if you're a non-member, you're paying, $395 a month for before school and $470 after school, and over the summer for 4 weeks. It's like $1,460 for 4 weeks. And so when you add that all up, it's like $9,245 that we're saving families by offering this program. And so, over the last 2 years, that's between $14,000 to $18,000. And so that's like enough to buy a car. It's like a down payment, for a home, and just like, being able to save for college, or just, paying for gas and groceries. And, if a family is making minimum wage at 15.50 an hour, it's a huge savings. And so, I really like commend this district for having the foresight to apply for this grant, and hopefully there'll be another round of funding for 21st Century, so that, we can bring it to the Roxborough campus and also other elementary schools in the district. Because I get a lot of calls, from parents at Smith Road or Bear Road. They're like, can my kid come? I'm like, oh, it's only for Rox families. And so, but just on behalf of all the parents and the students, just thank you, to this district for, having this program and having us, being able to like do, the work that we care about with our students. So does anybody have any questions? Yes.
Yes, thank you for coming. I always love this presentation and you're doing incredible work. The one question I had, so you had said that there were just under 200 people that have registered this year for the school year, and that everything's almost at capacity. Now, is it a lot less than that because there's not as many slots in the program, or did something change?
Well, we're trying to, because we always have, last fall, we kind of oversubscribed and we didn't have enough instructors. So now we're trying to keep more in line with the ratio. So at the elementary school, we're trying for like 13 kids, a staff ratio of 13-1, and at the middle school about 16-1. And we find that, a lot of kids come, and after a while they like either have other activities, in the season. And so we constantly add, like pretty much every month, sometimes like even till the last 2 weeks of the program year, we have families that sign up. And definitely at the for the morning program, like if we had more space, but we're limited in the space at the elementary school because we can only use the cafeteria, because we can't really use the classrooms because the teachers are in there. So we have to cap it at 55, but that is like a huge demand for working parents because elementary school doesn't start until 9 o'clock. And so we provide transportation and then, and also snacks. And then when they come to school after they do the morning program, they get breakfast. So it's a really great setup.
No,
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
That answered my question.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Few questions.
Yes.
Bear with me here. Very positive. I love it. Thank you for everything you do. I've been here since, this started. I've been here since this started, and it's grown every single year, and it's clearly a huge success. You alluded to this, but we didn't really dive into this. You said parents were scared. We weren't going to have this program. So in your opinion, this program is vital to making the Rocks campus, to our goal, a community school, correct?
Right. Correct.
So I don't see enough anger, in anybody, not just you guys, not just us, but us as a community. We almost lost this, and it was because of, the lower courts to be able to unfreeze this funding that was frozen past the date you were supposed to get it.
Yes. Yeah.
How late were the funds?
So I just got an email like maybe a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago, from the state ed saying that, okay, we have the funding.
Okay.
And so, but there was a lot of lobbying that happened across the nation to like, advocate for this program.
Right.
Definitely at New York State, there's a lot of lobbying, and the After School Alliance is a huge nonprofit organization that does work, on behalf of, out of school time programs. And this program has been around, this grant has been around for decades. And so it's a bipartisan issue, and, nobody can argue with the importance of childcare, if you want families to be working. And so let's hope that, this current administration or the next one doesn't cut it, but we still don't know if we have
Right.
funding for the last year of this 5-year grant.
And the scary thing is about this is it's going to be on the chopping block again.
Yes, it
that
is.
He
Yeah.
didn't get his way,
Yep.
and he did freeze the funds.
Right.
And this is a direct for those people who say, that stuff doesn't affect me, that stuff doesn't affect our small community. We live in upstate New York.
It does.
We it does. Our kids almost lost after school and before school funding
In summer,
in
right.
summer.
Mhm.
You know, our families rely on that stuff, you
Yeah.
know, and so I implore, you know, I implore our seniors, you know, who are going into that to become a really hardcore like civilian, you know, we need to be educated on these things because if we're not, they can, and we have the wool pulled over our eyes, they can do that stuff without us noticing.
Right. Well, I want to give a shout out to Mr. Cleary over here. August 4th, he organized a legislative tour for a new Senator Chris Ryan. So he came to tour Rocks Middle and he got to meet some of the Rise and Rock Stars kids and just learn a lot about the importance of providing this kind of service to working class community like Roxborough. And, you know, I mean, there's so many other kids outside of the Rocks campus that really need services like this. Cause, you know, even if you're a middle class income family, it's still like hard to be paying like, you know, $14,000 to $18,000 a year
Yeah,
for
it's
childcare.
the the problem of this also you mentioned, you know, Mr. Cleary brought the state in. State can't fill those holes. That's the other problem. Because me being in and working for an assemblyman, we're gonna have a $4 billion hole in Medicare and Medicaid, and then next year it's gonna inflate to 10 billion, and we're gonna try to fill some of that. But that's all we're gonna try to fill. We're not gonna try to fill those education gaps. You know, we're not gonna try to fill all those other gaps that are being cut. So I implore everybody to reach out to your federal representatives to get this funding through because it clearly helps, you know, and we're pushing all these goals, attendance, you know, we're pushing all the goals of graduation. It starts at this level. So thank you for everything you
Thank
guys
you
do.
so much.
Thank you. Love the presentation. I have so many comments to make, but I also have ADHD and can't hang around. So I'll try to be brief here. I love the comment about bringing in helping hounds. My brother has adopted 2 dogs from helping hounds. I visited there quite frequently as I was thinking of getting another dog for my dog, but he's absolutely an only child. I mean, it's just so, I'll just keep it at a visit at this point. Your program, it totally hits upon, I've always had this vision, and within my realm of experience, I try to bring it to fruition as much as possible, and I see you're doing the same. I always had this vision of like this community, maybe like a big, a huge cul-de-sac, and there being nursing homes, babies in nursing home, pets in nursing homes, students in nursing home, training, on-site stuff, win-win situation. I see a lot of that in everything that you have going on. Daycare, right now where I am, I have the upperclassmen who I had as kindergartners and first graders coming back to my building during their study halls. They end earlier in the day, we end later in the day. It just like, I just go down there and I just like, my heart just explodes. Cause it's like, I look at the, you know, some of the little kindergartners, I go, I had her. I used to see her coming off the bus, or I'd say, I had him. He was in my office all the time. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. But anyways, it's, your program just hits upon all of these notes, and just thank you.
Thank you. Well, we should say that we've had our middle school students as one of their club activities after school. They'll come to the elementary school to do activities, and it's like a really cool thing for them to get to learn about service and just being a mentor to some of the younger kids. And November 13th, we have invited Senator Ryan to come be a guest speaker. So hopefully he'll inspire some of our middle schoolers to get into politics, and that'd be cool. Oh my God. Wow.
Thank you
All right.
very
Thank you
much.
so much. Bye.
Okay, we don't have any comments from the audience this evening, so we'll jump right into Board of Education Committee reports. Mr. Thorne, any update? No update? All right. Mr. Pratt, nothing. Do you have an OCM report?
So OCM BOCES, we met last Thursday. As I told you before, there were graduations coming up, and want to thank the North Syracuse Central School District for hosting two of them. The first one was at the middle school, Roxborough. Both of them were at the middle school. The nursing graduation, we had over 50 nurses graduate, and we, as you know, we need nurses. The adult education graduation was a week later at Roxborough, and to see all the welders and office aides and so forth. And there was a lady at 72 years old that got her high school diploma. That was my heart. She worked 6 years to get that, her GED. That was amazing. I want to thank Dr. Ward and Josh for golfing in the Jack Gallagher Memorial Scholarship Tournament, though I heard Dr. Ward did much better than Josh. Unfortunately, you didn't win, and now I found out our day custodian is the best golfer, so get him on your team next year, okay? But the money for that goes towards adults that can't afford to come to the program. And just amazing. So thank you, the two of you. Thank you for doing that. As we're going to have one in September, we had a Board of Education retreat in Skinny Atlas, and soon to be Amanda Veal kind of was the MC, and the board talked about the 21st Portrait of a Graduate. We went through that. She led us through that, and we worked together. We also have a strategic plan, and we broke up into groups and worked with administrators and worked on that. And then I'm going to talk about the next one, which Mr. Keegan and Dr. Ward are going to hear a lot about. And that's our referendum that's coming up on November 19th. I think it's going to be a joint meeting of the superintendents and business officials. I am going to rely on this board to help on this, since we have more students go to special ed. We have more students that are in our trades. And there has not been a project like this in BOCES for years. It's a $30.5 million project, state aided 65%. And then each component district, of the 23 component districts, it will be 35%. There is a video, which down the line, I'm hoping that somebody from our district will show it to our board members when you get closer to it. But the magic date is November 19th, and you may vote at campus. Michael can walk right. Oh, no, it's 4 places. Main campus where you work, Henry campus, Crown Road, and Cortlandville. There are 4 places you can vote. But more to come on that. Very important for us to get our people out there to vote on this. And what else? I had a few other. We also hosted the Micron chip camp this year, which North Syracuse participated in. Now get these numbers. At Roxborough Middle, we had 675 students in the special needs program, which Mr. Clary took Senator Ryan on a tour. But high school at West Jenny, North Syracuse, JD, and Homer, 3,177 students, 7 through 12. And the Regents, we had 2,389 students take Regent. Amanda Veal had a lot to do with that. She led our summer school, so we're lucky to get her to lead us. And that's it.
Dr. Ward.
Just a couple of reminders for the board. One is our opening day on 9/2. We would, the invite is out there. If you can make it from 8 to 10 on that day. I think I think it'll be well worth your time. So just let us know if you can make it, because we're going to have special seating for you. So 8 o'clock, about 8 to 10, 10:15, somewhere in there. So if you can make it, just let Beth know, and we'll make sure you have special seating for the event. So one other just board member reminder, Saturday, September 20th from 9 to 12, you'll be with Dr. Jason Andrews for our annual board retreat update. And our location is TBD. We still have to work on some of the logistics, but we're trying to get a place outside of this room where you normally do work. So we will be putting out very shortly a cell phone FAQ for parents. Obviously, we're getting a lot of phone calls, probably tomorrow morning. We're getting some phone calls about questions, so we just want to make sure that everyone are aware of all the different answers to those. And lastly, I just want to say it's been nice to see the athletes back in our school grounds this week to be able to start that. I see the struggles in my house getting up at 6:30 in the morning now, but my kids are working through it, and it looks like all of our athletes are as well. So that's all I had.
Thank you. Do we have any board comments? Josh?
Yeah, I just wanted to highlight, and I sent an article today, which I very rarely do, but I thought it was really important for everybody to read. So I sent it around. But I think with some of the things that we talked about earlier, as far as the federal funding being in question and with the state budget having some changes, they're seeing what the biggest concerns are going to be in Albany is going to be really important for us, especially when we're fighting for funding and we're talking about some of these programs that require federal funding. But then also, the way that the federal funding was cut across the board, as far as how that impacts New York State, is going to have a lot of impacts on how we're funded here. So I would encourage you all to take a look at it if you haven't. And we're still early in the budgeting process, and we're not technically there yet, but we're starting to get there really. But I think that the sooner we have an idea of what things might be at stake, and what programs are really essential to our district, we'll have a better idea of what we can go to talk to our representatives, who have been fantastic in hearing us out. But I think that especially with what's going on, it's something to keep in mind earlier this year, as there's a lot of questions out there. So I just wanted to highlight that for everybody, and everyone at home. I encourage you to keep an eye out on what the priorities are in Albany for that reason.
I have one. I read some concerning stuff about a local central New York school district around here opting out of school lunches for their high school. I just want to say that, our district, we're committed to giving our students free lunch, free breakfast. That won't change. That won't waver. We're not going to prioritize paninis and smoothies over giving free lunch to our students, because, some people don't even have the money to get paninis or smoothies. And I really hope that school district is going to reverse their decision in the next year or so. Very disappointing, but I'm glad that we are in the right on this. So, thank you.
Oh, I have you have some reading material at your seat. There were notes I took at the visible leadership event that Bob and I attended back. So these are just notes. Some of it is opinion, if you read through. I attended some different workshops, and Bob, he forwarded you slides that were from the ones he attended. So if you look at all that, it's just like you went. And, just to follow in line with Mr. Ludden's uplifting email. On page 4 of one of the workshops I went to was talking about navigating an uncertain future. So I just took some notes on that. You might find that interesting, because it talked about what we know, what we know we don't know, and what we don't know is the thing we kind of face as we go. And lastly, just in case, mention this October. Registration is open for that, so you can talk to Jill. It's October 23rd to 25th. New York City this year. Can do virtually, yeah. Yeah, it's a, yeah, I
Yes,
believe it's a Friday to a.
Friday to Sunday. Or Thursday.
Or a Thursday to Saturday, one of those, weekdays, weekends and things. Such, so. All right, so I'm done babbling. Any other questions? Don't want to give up your weekend and hang out with me? Okay,
I want it.
thank you.
All right, Bridget.
So with the beginning of school starting, I've done a little, not canvassing, but I've watched a lot of different like videos and seen a lot of different people across the country because of course we're not the only state doing the phone ban. There are a lot of other states that decided to implement it this year. And a lot of those schools have been up and going since August. So I think it's really important for us to really look at those schools and see how they're doing because they're ahead of us. They've already gone through the rough patch. They're really working it out. So I've looked at those schools and I'm seeing a lot of and I don't mean to talk about cell phones every time I talk, but I think it's definitely going to be kind of the hallmark of this year is how do we deal with it? A lot of schools, like we anticipated, are seeing a lot of issues with like destruction of property, like the yonder pouches. So I guess my question for the board would be, if they're destructed, are they replacing them by their own? Are they like, what are we doing for that? Because like, is it going to work the same way as Chromebooks, where if you break it or you lose it, you buy it? I've also seen a lot of defiance, even by kids that, and I don't like to say like good kids or bad kids, but kids that are typically like A+ students, follow by the book. I've seen a lot of defiance, both online and people I talk to in our school district. It's not just the kids that may be struggling in school or have behavioral issues in the past. It's kids that have never had behavioral issues that are going to be defiant. So I think that's something to think about too.
You. Action items. Consideration of the approval of the minutes of August 4th. Do I have a motion to approve? Bob and Mark, any questions or comments?
Want to thank our wonderful new district clerk that's been subbing for Jill. She's done a great job. And so Beth, thank you so much. Especially when I talk so much, you're getting it in here.
All those in favor? Consideration of the classification in school place. Do I have a motion to accept that? Beth and Josh, any questions or comment? All those in favor? That is unanimous. Declaration of marketable and non-marketable surplus. Do I have a motion? That Beth and Mark, any questions or comments? All those in favor? That's unanimous. Discussion action items, request for the approval of the pool bids. Don, is there anything on this you want to talk about?
No, but this is very exciting. It's the third and final stage of our pool bidding process. So with this award, the entire construction of the pool will be underway, and we're looking at.
I have a motion to award that contract to William L. Watson Co. in the amount of $2 million. Mark and Paul. Got some gifts this evening, and I'll ask for us to accept those. The American Recorder Society has approved a grant application submitted by Donna Marie Norton for Rising Rock Star orders in the amount of $500. New York State Department of Education held a statewide math championships on May 31st, and as we know, elementary received top prizes. Context International Math in First sponsored the prizes. A $5,000 check was awarded to the school as a state winner at the 2025 New York Statewide Mathematics Tournament, and a $1,000 check was awarded to the school as a virtual contest winner. Finally, Dr. Draker our medical director, has donated $10,000 to the North Syracuse Early Education Program to support the program's mission to provide a nurturing and enriching environment for our youngest learners. So I will ask for motion to accept with gratitude those gifts. Beth? Comments? All those in favor? Next is to approve the 2025-2026 District Safety Plan. Do I have a motion to accept that as submitted? Josh and Mark, any questions? That's unanimous. Request to appoint the Chief Chemical Hygiene Officer. Do I have a motion to appoint Nick Scholes as the Director of STEM as the Chief Chemical Hygiene Officer for this school year? Paul, any questions or comments? All those in favor? That. Next is a resolution to establish this year's school tax rates. Do I have a motion for that? Beth and Bob. For roll call, so Beth? Yes.
Aye.
Aye.
Authorization of the tax warrants. Do I have a motion? Paul and Josh, and this is also a roll call. All those in favor? It's unanimous. Request for the approval of edits of the 2025-2026 district calendar. Do I have a motion for those edits? Josh?
I just want to make sure everybody knows that there's no actual changes to the calendar. It's just we're changing a couple things. Just making sure the public knows. No, the names are being changed. There's no dates that are changing.
That's why we're not updating the calendar amendments counter. All those in favor? Resolution to create a food service position at Gillette Road Middle School. Do I have a? And Mark, any questions or comments? Those in favor? Don, is there anything that you want to talk about with this one?
Just trying to restore the reserve to where it was at the beginning of the 24-25 school year. It's just important in this very litigious environment we live in that amount of reserve to cover.
I have a motion for that? Josh and Xavier, any? All those in favor? That is. Session before we take the. I have a motion to accept personnel report A. No, and abstentions? That passes, thank you. This had relatives on the agenda, so yeah. Do I have a motion to put support staff personnel B on as submitted? Josh? Mark, any questions or comments? All those in favor? That's unanimous. I'll make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second? All those in favor? That's unanimous. We're adjourned. Thank you.